What's going on there, guys, and welcome back to our channel. Payne has recently said a lot of things about his days in One Direction, and not all of it was positive. So in this video, we're taking a look at Payne bashing former One Direction bandmates. Number 6. Louis's rowdiness. If you're a fan of One Direction, or maybe were in the past, you'll have no doubt heard about the controversial interview that Payne recently did with Logan Paul. In that interview, he said a lot of things that could be considered as him bashing his bandmates. Once he started talking about his days in One Direction, it was hard to get him to stop. At one point, he was asked who the wildest member of One Direction was, and he said that was Louis. He said that Louis was wild. That was somewhat expected, but what he said next most certainly wasn't. He said that these days they were best friends, but during their time in the band, they hated one another. He even said that at some points, they even exchanged blows with one another. As you can imagine, this sent shockwaves throughout the fandom because the two of them always seemed close with one another. But this wasn't the only thing he mentioned in the interview about his bandmates. Number 5. Shocking altercation with bandmate. When someone is in a boy band, you expect them to go into a few heated arguments, but apparently, things were a bit more serious than that in One Direction. Liam said on the podcast with Logan Paul that he didn't like when people talked badly about him, meaning that he had very little patience for insults directed at him. He then said that at one point, things got so bad that one band member actually threw him up against a wall. Liam neglected to mention who that member was, but said that he had his hands on him. Liam then said that he had told that member to get their hands off of him, otherwise there was a high likelihood they'll never use them again. That does sound a bit overdramatic, but it seemed like that did happen at one point during the days of One Direction. Number 4. Zayns' actions towards Jake. One band member that received a lot of bad insinuations and insults from Liam in that interview was Zayn Malik. Logan Paul brought up the fact that he too had had an experience with one of his bandmates, and it happened when Jake Paul met Zayn Malik. Logan said that after Jake met Zayn, Jake felt a bit disrespected by him. This led to him tweeting about his experience. Since Gigi Hadid and Zayn were dating at the time, she tweeted a very strongly worded response towards him. In that tweet, she had said that Zayn was a very respectful man. This was brought up by Liam, who then proceeded to say that that statement hadn't aged that well. Number 3. Disrespecting Zayn's parents. If Liam had said bad things about Zayn and left it at that, perhaps the reaction wouldn't have been as strong as it's been right now. But he proceeded to go a bit further than that, and he said that there were many reasons why he disliked Zayn, but that he was always on his side. Then, he proceeded to say something that infuriated the entire fandom. Liam implied that the things Zayn had been doing had been as a result of his upbringing, and that Zayn had probably not received the same level of love that he had received from his parents. As you might agree, insulting a bandmate's parents is taking things a bit too far, which is why Liam has been in hot water ever since he made those remarks. Number 2. Mentioning Zayn's legal troubles. During the entire interview, he had been acting as the bigger guy. He mentioned the fact that Zayn had been having legal troubles and that the person on the other end of the phone has been willing to receive the help he wants to give them. This makes it seem like Zayn has been going through a rough patch and Liam wants to help him out. He said this statement after he had spent a good portion of the interview bashing him, so his words and actions are showcasing two completely different things. Number 1. Outselling bandmates. After going on hiatus, the band members slowly started releasing their own music, and Liam was the last one to do so. He said that his reason for waiting was that he wanted a really well-written song to come to him, and then he would think about adding his voice to it. He then bashed his band members again by saying that even though he was the last to release a song, it got 1 billion streams and outsold the rest of them. This isn't even remotely true, and a simple Google search will tell you just how inaccurate that statement is. These were some of the things Liam said about his former bandmates. He has since then apologized, but the damage has already been done. This wraps up yet another great video, which we hope you guys enjoyed. And if you did, don't forget to let us know by smashing that like button. And if you haven't done so already, don't forget to subscribe to our channel as well as hit that bell icon so you don't miss out on future videos going forward. Until next time, take care and goodbye.